Good afternoon and welcome to a Monday edition of Nutmeg Sports. Donald Eng here, joined by HAN Sports editor Mike Suppy. First order of the day on a snowy Monday is, of course, the snow. All sporting events originally scheduled for today have been postponed. That includes the Laurelton Hall versus Trumbull and St. Joseph girls hockey game that we were scheduled to broadcast here on the HAN Network. Most of the games have their rescheduled times announced. Check out fciac.net for the changes. But if you were planning to watch girls hockey tonight, you can check out the FCIAC Indoor Track Championships from Thursday and the FCIAC Cheerleading Championships from Friday on demand on the HAN Network. We'll be bringing you some highlights of those in a little bit. But first, some Saturday scores with Mike Suppy.
Yeah, well, I mean, let me run these down here. Danbury, they beat Trinity Catholic. All these games are rescheduled from Friday when they were originally planned before the weather canceled all of those out. Danbury beat Trinity Catholic 61-55. Stanford over Ward 57-51. Ridgefield over St. Joe's 65-63. Darien beat Staples 53-48. McMahon over Norwalk 82-70. Girls basketball, Wilton beat Trumbull 35-27. St. Joe's fell to Ridgefield 64-48, and Norwalk beat McMahon 65-25 as far as the FCIAC goes. On the court in hockey, Newtown beat Trumbull 5-3 in a non-league game. Stanford West Hill shut out McMahon Norwalk 9-0. It was New Canaan over St. Joe's 4-1, and Fairfield over Trinity Catholic 9-2. Girls hockey, Wilton Norwalk 4, Fairfield 1. Ridgefield beat Greenwich 3-2, and New Canaan blanked Trumbull 5-0. There's also some big wrestling meets with Danbury winning the New Fairfield Duels, where they beat 4 really good teams in Londonderry, New Hampshire, New Fairfield, Nonawag, and New Milford. New Milford and New Fairfield were both ranked in the poll, and Danbury cruised to the number 1 spot in that tournament and just keep on rolling here as the FCIACs are approaching.
It's looking more and more like Danbury is the team to beat in Connecticut wrestling again this year. I mean, it seems like we could say that every year, but that appears to be the case once again.
Yeah, it's a safe assumption they're going to be the team to beat come the FCIACs and Class LLs as well as the Open. And even with what they've proven on outside of the state, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with come New England's this year, as they always are.
And how about Foreign High School?
Yeah, they went 5-0 at their dual meet that they were at. I can't remember the exact one they were at, but they went 5-0 and improved to 34-3 on the season, surpassing the record for single dual meet victories in a season of 33, which was held by, coincidentally, their crosstown rivals, Jonathan Law, which they set back in 2007. So the Lions just keep on rolling, too, and they can win the SEC A-Division title if they finish out their dual meet season strong. And
I always get myself in trouble when I go out on a limb here. You wrestled at...
Foreign, yeah.
Foreign, okay. Well, congratulations.
Nearly as good back then as they are now, but it's good to see them doing well.
34-3, and more importantly, taking the record from Jonathan Law. So I'm sure Mike pretty happy about that. And speaking of Danbury and dominance, the FCIAC indoor track season ended on Thursday. You saw it here on the HAN Network. Danbury with a dominant performance, winning the boys and girls indoor track titles. On the girls' side, Danbury with a score of 97 points topped Ridgefield, Greenwich, Staples, and Trumbull. Very close there at the top. Danbury 97, Ridgefield 95.5. And then on the boys' side, just as I mentioned, dominance. Danbury 117 points. Brian McMahon second place, 56 points. Then Staples, Trumbull, and Greenwich. So they like their winter sports in Danbury.
Yeah, I mean, I was there in the building for 95% of the FCIAC indoor track meet, and it seemed like Danbury just kept ringing up winners. I know the girls' meet came down to, I think, the final event, where Ridgefield, if they won the event or took second, I think it was a relay, 4x4 or 800. If they won or took second, they would have won the team title, but they finished third, and it wasn't enough point-wise for them to get past Danbury, who finished first, and they flip-flopped, basically.
All right, so Danbury won the boys and girls FCIAC indoor track titles. You can get the results of each individual event on the web at paynescornertiming.com. That's PAYNESCORNERTIMING, paynescornertiming.com. You can also watch the entire meet on demand at HAN.network. We're going to bring you some highlights of the meet, then step out for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some cheerleading, athletes of the week, maybe even some girls hoops. But for now, enjoy some indoor track highlights from the Floyd Little Athletic Center.
From the Floyd Little Athletic Center in New Haven, it's the 2016 Indoor Track and Field Championship on the HAN Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Adams. Jim Gerwick will join me for all the action today as we bring you everything from here inside this Floyd Little Athletic Center.
Harris out quickly, and she's just flying over.
Yeah, wow.
The class of the field, yeah. Yep. And that's Chiravelli of Danbury. Looks like she was second, just inside of her. So we'll wait for the times to pop up here.
You're right. She didn't
Wow.
really waste any height there.
8:26.
Wow.
Won by almost 0.2 of a second. David Harvey of Ward. Pierre Mentis of McMahon. Thomas Valinskis of Ridgefield. And Junior Lynch of Danbury. And that looks like it's Asterly Pierre Manlis of McMahon, our winner. We'll wait for the time to pop up officially.
All right, guns up.
Okay, we got a clean start, and that looks like Harris is out.
Yep, running away from the field.
Okay, yeah.
That was Devontae Clark. They just flying out in front of the field.
Yep. Well, when you dress like that, you got to be fast.
Yeah.
You got to back it up, right?
Got to back it up. So 6:48 for Clark from Danbury.
Wow, holy moly. The worst that happens is she's going to run slow.
Yep.
She's not going to clobber the hurdles.
All right. Well, she's not going to run slow.
Man.
She's out in front. She's.
Ooh, wow.
There we go.
I think Brown got her. I think Brown got her just at the finish. 3.
Yep.
Just kind of, wow, 1/100 of a second.
Yeah,
you don't get much
that.
closer.
Nope.
Don't get much
Go
closer
to the
than
camera
that.
for that result.
Yep, wow, and Porcenat, 7:47.
So we'll watch her. She's over.
That's a record. 5'7" for Jada Harris.
Gets a high five, and she is one happy young lady.
That's two FCAC records today. She already had the record in the 55 hurdles. I believe she broke her own record set last year.
She broke the old dash record. She's left everybody but Caitlin Romanchik. So,
And again, the pace stays the same the whole time.
Yeah, it's just relentless.
There's the final turn. And Hannah DeBalzi, my gosh, you get chills watching her.
Going to be under 11.
What an athlete. She will cross in 10:57. Congratulations to her. Alex Osberg won this last year in 9:23, setting the record. Vanderels has a solid chance. In fact, he will float across at 9:18. It will be a new record. Eric Vanderels. Danbury with the lead right now. Ridgefield behind them. Look at Greenwich with the quick finish here. Let's see if they can make it interesting as they turn.
That's Philippides.
They make the turn. Danbury still in control. Looks like they've got enough to win this championship as they come down the stretch.
Greenwich making a move. Greenwich.
Danbury wins. Greenwich is second. Ridgefield third.
That splits the team, so that's a 2-point swing. That could be huge.
Danbury, dominant performance. More than double the points of Brian McMahon High School. Staples third, Greenwich fourth, and the Trumbull Eagles fifth. Now we get to look at what we feel unofficially are the final girls' standings. And Jim, I'm going to let you explain it.
Okay, well, going into the final event, the 4x400, Ridgefield had a 2.5-point lead over Danbury, 89.5 to 87. Danbury won the 4x4, giving them 10 points, so that gave them 97. Ridgefield, if they had taken second, would have gotten 8 and won by half a point. But as you saw in that race, Greenwich overtook them right at the line, pushed them back into third, and as a result, Ridgefield got 6 points, 95.5. So Danbury is our team champion by 1.5 points.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
So congratulations once again to the Danbury Hatters, boys and girls, FCAC Indoor Track Champions. Now we go to another event that you saw here on the HAN Network. Fairfield Ludlow on Saturday won the league cheerleading championships, for the girls anyway. Trumbull used some strong tumbling to get second place. Danbury and St. Joseph, third and fourth. Stamford on the co-ed side took the team title over Norwalk. And we're going to bring you some of the highlights of that right now.
Fieldhouse on the campus of Wilton High School. It's the 2016 FCAC Cheerleading Championships.
You couldn't see me nay there at the end there. That's some excellent editing. Thank you very much, Eric Gendron. It was AJ. Okay, I'm sorry, but thank you, AJ. That was
bad attribution there, Don.
All right, well, I don't know who it was. Whoever it was, thank you, and I'm sure the viewers, thank you also. Now, Mike, the top 10 girls basketball poll is out. We can run that down for a moment because you actually have a vote in the poll. So we can go through the list, and then then you can see how you had it. First off, Capital Prep. They've been number 1 all season long. They beat Prince Tech 85-39, and then beat Shenandoah, New York 57-48, according to our friends at Game Time CT.
Real quick, I think this is an old poll.
Oh wait.
Yeah, this is last week's poll.
Hang on one second. Look at that. We have a computer user malfunction. Hang on one second.
I'm an educated voter, so I know this.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, who did you have number 1? Capital Prep?
Yeah, they actually lost the game this week. Another out-of-stater to Christ the King by 5 points. The second time this season they lost to Christ the King.
But it's Christ the King.
Can't hold it against them, so they beat Mercy, who's number 2 in the state. New London, interestingly enough, got a number 1 vote this week, as they went to 16-0 after hammering Killingly 74-41. They picked up a first place vote, but they're still 4 points behind Mercy. That's my top 3 chalk right there.
You have Capital Prep, Mercy, New London?
Yeah.
Okay, Capital Prep now 15-3, 17 first place votes. They remain number 1. As you said, defeated Goodwin Tech, Cheney Tech, and lost to Christ the King. Mercy beat Farmington, Hamden, and Sacred Heart Academy. They are number 2. They appear to have been gaining ground in the last couple of weeks, especially with Capital Prep now with the 2 losses to New York Power, Christ the King.
All 3 of their losses are out of state.
New London remains third with the 1 first place vote. Cromwell, number 4. That's actually unchanged from last week. Undefeated, 17-0, beat North Branford last week. And they look to be playing outstanding defense. Fairfield Ward 5th, beating Greenwich and New Canaan. So now where did you have them?
I actually had Ward 6th and New Fairfield 5th, just based on the fact New Fairfield is undefeated and Ward has a loss that came a very long time ago. They have a lot of quality wins, but I got to give the bump to the New Fairfield Rebels, who are 16-0. They have 3 games this week, so including a tough one against Newtown. But again, Ward has a big game against Stamford, which I'm pretty sure got canceled
tonight. Yeah, it was actually scheduled for Friday, rescheduled to tonight, and then another snow out. So Ward holding station at number 5 in the Game Time CT register poll. Holy Cross holding steady at number 7. They beat Wilby last week, 71-15, a blowout there. The Crusaders will be playing Crosby and Kennedy this week. They were scheduled to play Crosby tonight and Kennedy tomorrow. That obviously is not going to happen with the snow. Then Norwich Free Academy at 8. They move up a spot from last week after beating Fitch.
Yeah, I have Holy Cross 7 and NFA 8, so I'm right in line with the rest of my voting brethren there.
Trumbull enters the poll at number 9. The Eagles beat Norwalk last week 50-35 and Wilton 35-27. Trumbull's 2 losses have come to New Fairfield and Ward, a couple of top 10 teams. And rounding out the top 10 is Glastonbury, entering the poll at number 10 with a record of 14-2. Glastonbury defeated Hall, Ellington, and Conard last week. The Tomahawks have won 11 straight.
I actually had a little bit of a change there. I drifted from the flock a bit. I had E.O. Smith.
Off the reservation?
E.O. Smith, number 9, and Trumbull 10. E.O. Smith, I feel, they're a little bit further down there in poll-wise, but it's a team that has a lot of quality wins. They've won a lot of games in a row. I believe it's around like 10 or 11. They started off 3-2. So they've won 13 games in a row. They beat Weaver a couple weeks ago. Again, I think they're a good team, and they might, despite the 2 losses, I gave them a little bit of a bump. And then I had Trumbull 10. You get, like you said, both of their losses are against 2 teams that are ranked in the top 10. They had a big win over Greenwich recently, as did Ward. Trumbull, they're solid, and that's round out the top 10. You can't get any more of a solid pick there.
E.O. Smith actually is in the others receiving votes portion of the poll, they are the 6th team, so theoretically the 16th ranked team in the state. So you had them a little bit higher than that. All right, so that is the girls basketball poll for the week. By the way, just we should mention before we take our second break here, the spring sports schedule is out, not for the HAN Network, but for the state. You can check out the spring sports schedule at ciacsports.com. We are currently formulating our spring sports coverage schedule as we speak, and it looks like we're going to have a healthy dose of baseball, softball, and lacrosse. So always good. God, I like when the spring season comes. It's almost like it's the funniest thing when you cover spring sports. You know this because it starts off. You're wearing parkas in the first week of the season, and then shorts for the championship games.
I've covered softball games in the snow where they've played. You never know what you're going to get in those early April games.
Those kids are tough, yeah, because they're out there playing softball or baseball, and it's about 40 degrees sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, if you go around taking pictures of the scrimmages, they're wearing like sweatpants and sweatshirts a lot of the times, and it's a gray sky when you go back looking for a file photo or something like that.
They got
gray sky, sweatpants, sweatshirts.
They got the hand warmers in their pockets, things like that.
It's crazy. You never know with the weather.
We're going to take a quick break and then come back, run down the athletes of the week, and bring you the results of last week's polling. We're going to step out right now. We'll be back in a minute.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at DenaliOutdoor.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express, open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter, and I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune into Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on a snowy Monday afternoon here at the Shelton studio. We're going to run down the athletes of the week for the boys and girls FCAC athletes this week. First off, though, last week's results. According to you, the voter, Edward Rudman, swimmer from New Canaan, is last week's FCAC athlete of the week. Edward beat out Scott Nesbitt of Danbury basketball and West Hill wrestler Matt Conti. Let's see, Rudman had, let me see if I can find him here. Hang on one second.
346.
Is a junior, yeah. 4 wins as the Rams knocked off Wilton 101-84. He won 2 individual events, the 50 freestyle and the 100 backstroke. So congratulations to Edward Rudman. 26% of the vote. Nesbitt with 19 and Conti with 15. To the girls. Let's see. On the girls' side, it was Deja Polk, Ward basketball, with 667 votes, 46%. She beat out Emily Giannunzio of Darien hockey. Deja with 46% of the vote, Emily with 21% of the vote. Deja scored 12 points to go along with 8 assists and 6 steals, as Ward improved to 13-1 overall, 10-0 in the FCAC. So congratulations, Deja Polk, the FCAC Girls Athlete of the Week. You can cast your vote on that at HAN.network. The poll will be open as soon as Mike and I finish reading the nominees, and we'll start with that right now. Mike.
All right, so the nominees for this week are, now I got to find it again here.
I'll start it off. Devontae Clark of Danbury Track and Field set a new meet record with a time of 6.48 seconds in the 55-meter dash. As the Hatters won the league crown, Devontae Clark is your first nominee.
All right, we also have Eric Vanderels, who helped lead the Senators to a runner-up finish, their best ever showing at the FCAC Track and Field Championships. The senior, who won the league's cross-country title in the fall, won the 1,600-meter run in 4 minutes, 16.91 seconds, and the 3,200-meter run in an FCAC record meet time of 9:18.56. Terrell Cunningham, Danbury Track and Field. Cunningham played a huge role in the Hatters FCAC Track and Field Championship as he anchored a pair of winning relays and took second place in the 600-meter run last Thursday. He ran the final leg of the 4x400 and the sprint medley relay, which set a new FCAC record. Jack Moore of Trumbull High scored 35 points in a 68-40 win over Norwalk. Only one of his baskets was a 3. He's 10 for 10 from the line. St. Joe's Joe Lucy, 19 points in St. Joe's win over McMahon on February 1st. Stanford basketball's Jay DeVito, 28 points, including 9 in the fourth quarter, during a 46-38 win over West Hill. It was their first city title win since 2011. Eric Day of McMahon, 19 points, and an 82-70 win over Norwalk. It was McMahon's first win over Norwalk since 2011, and the Senators improved to 11-4. And finally, Sam Knowlton of Darien Hockey Team, 2 assists and a 6-4 win over Prep on Wednesday. He's on a point-per-game pace so far this season.
On the girls' side, Jada Harris, St. Joseph Indoor Track and Field, is your first nominee. Jada won 2 league titles at the FCAC Championships at the Little Athletic Center. Harris was the FCAC's best in the 55-meter hurdles and the high jump, and placed second in the 55 meters. Catherine Jasminski of Ridgefield is your next nominee, part of the Tigers' winning 4x800 relay team, which kicked off the Track and Field Championships. She ran the third leg and also placed third in the 600-meter run. Katie Kirchgasser, Ludlow cheerleader, is your next nominee, helping the Falcons repeat as FCAC cheerleading champs at the conference competition on Saturday. Ludlow has won 4 titles in the last 5 years. Hannah DeBalzi, your next nominee, Staples Track and Field. She won the 2 longest races at the Track and Field Championships in New Haven. DeBalzi is a 3-time FCAC cross-country champ. Claire Conley, New Canaan Track and Field. Claire took the FCAC shot put title during the conference championships Thursday. She was the top seed and won the event with a throw of 35 feet, 9.5 inches, more than a foot better than the next competitor. Nina Vetter of Trumbull Basketball scored 16 points, had 9 rebounds to lead the Eagles to a 50-35 win over Norwalk. Alana Janikos of Trinity Catholic scored 10 points with 2 baskets coming from behind the 3-point line. Trinity beat Bridgeport Central 41-35. Maris Estevez of Fairfield Hockey scored 2 goals to lead Fairfield to a 5-2 win over Notre Dame of Fairfield on February 1st. Molly Thomas of the Wilton Norwalk Ice Hockey Co-op had a hand in all 4 goals as the co-op beat the Fairfield Mustangs 4-1 on Saturday. Sam Aparicio, Darien Gymnastics. Sam is the defending FCAC individual gymnastics champion. She led the wave in a pair of wins last week, including beating New Canaan and then a Stamford West Hill co-op. She also led the all-around with a score of 36.6 against Trumbull. So those are your nominees for FCAC Athlete of the Week. You can vote for it. You can vote for them at HAN.network. Well, Mike, the fastest 30 minutes of the week.
It flew by.
It did. We've come to the end of another Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. We'll be back tomorrow with more highlights and hopefully some more scores and hopefully actual games to report on starting tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your snowy Monday. For Mike Suppy, Eric Gendron, I am Donald Eng. AJ Simonowski. Can't forget about AJ. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.